Welcome to the UDP broadcast, a podcast where a group of friends get together and talk about gaming-related topics and offer both informed and uninformed opinions. I'm your host, Luminary Weekly, and I am accompanied today by the co-hosts, Imee, the Eternal Barcode,
Hello, everybody.
and from the Emerald Dream, Raina, the Crit Chicken.
Hello.
We are currently Cajunless tonight. I believe he is out doing cosplay things in Houston. So, shout out to Houston.
Yay.
Hey.
Episode 51, Plausible Deniability. Before we get into it, let's hand it over to Imee.
Well, first we'll let
Trevor
Ping have
Project
a
is
go.
a leading
He's got something to tell
organization
us 'cause we
working
keep
to
donating
end
money.
LGBTQ youth suicide in the US and beyond. The non-profit operates several programs to help prevent and respond to the public health crisis of LGBTQ youth suicide, including 24/7 free crisis services, research, advocacy, education, and peer support.
Thank you, Ping.
Yes. So what I meant to say before I hit enter, because, I'm smart, my brain is slightly ahead of myself, is that all the donations this year and 10% normally of all the revenue we generate through bits, through subs, through donations, whatever, goes to the Trevor Project, and that's who they were. Thank you, Ping. And just a quick reminder, this is an opinion show and does not reflect official company policies or views. So in other words, we are poor, we have uninformed opinions, please don't sue us.
That was my dog. He's being extra needy right now.
Aw,
Oh.
poor
Yeah.
puppy.
Yep. So you're gonna hear dog squeaks.
Oh, my heart is breaking.
Well, way it goes. So let's talk about the thing Crit just discovered and brought up, the Crunchyroll alternative. Let's see what this even says here.
Sony's Crunchyroll launches free 24-hour streaming channel.
Yeah, so I'm still trying to figure out if that's like an on-demand service or if that's just it's anime 24/7 and you can just tune in and whatnot.
I think it will more so show a lineup of the older shows, while the newer shows are going to be on regular Crunchyroll.
Well, here we go. The first service to carry out Crunchyroll's free ad-supported streaming TV fast channel are LG channels, Roku channels, Vizio Watch Free, Amazon's Freevee. So that's on October 17th. That was a while back. So it should be up and going then. You could totally like tune in right now and to broadcast anime TV without having cable service. That's kind of nice.
Apparently it's got a lineup of older shows dubbed in English. While new and premium anime content will remain on Crunchyroll subscription and ad-supported VOD services, stuff on their fast channel at launch will include a whole bunch of, or a name I can't pronounce, Ranking of Kings, Moriarty, The Parrot, Psychopaths, something else, Sugar Apple Fairy Tale. What the kind of names are these? God damn it, anime! Come up with real names for titles for shit. God damn it!
There's a lot of good stuff here. Like I've seen all of Psychopaths. Oh, is it Psychopaths? No, I was thinking Mob Psycho. But from what I've seen of Psychopaths, it's very Minority Report. So if you like that type of predictive, get justice before you're ever found guilty type stuff, that's pretty good. And To Your Eternity, I can't praise that anime enough. I don't like the fact that it is not subtitled. But you know what? It's a good enough anime. I'm pretty sure that they've got some high quality voiceovers there. It's very rare. Like I even watch all the English content that I consume now with subtitles on. So yeah. I think there was a gift that I posted into Discord that I received from was it one of you two? I can't remember. It was from the Oatmeal. Where it was from the Oatmeal, and they were talking about here. Let me see. I'll drop it into. I know that I sent this to Nipple Salad, But yeah, no, the guy's like, oh, subtitles are terrible. It doesn't do anything.
Oh, right. Yeah, I posted that. The diarrhea subtitles.
Yes, where it's just like, yeah, like that's exactly how it is, and that's worth it. Like even watching Game of Thrones, there, like whoever subtitled that needs a raise. Like they did squelching door noises and stuff. Like it was, it was really good. Yeah, no, so that's really cool. So if you want to get into anime, that's a great starting point. Ad-supported anime service that's not your trite and cliche Pokemon or Digimon or Saturday morning cartoon, like actual good anime. So that's really good.
Copy link. I will throw this into Twitch chat. If you want to know what we're talking about, it's certainly a thing that exists.
Yes.
The oatmeal is not meant for children. So if you've got kids, you'll have some splaining to do if they read this and then see the poop.
I think they understand that very well. I mean, the words diarrhea intensifies. It's fairly easy to understand, I think.
God damn it. I love it. It's horrifying. And yeah, I remember posting that saying, so this is why you people like subtitles.
Mm-hmm. Well, that and I get my reading in. I mean, I do enough reading on the internet, but it's a lot of skimming. But for like story stuff, like I absolutely enjoy subtitles. It keeps me sharp. What about you, Crit? Why do you like subtitles?
I just like to. I want to know what the original storyline was going to be or whatever.
Ah, you want the story as interpreted? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes some stuff gets lost in the English translation. Either the inflections aren't there to express the emotional attachment or things like that. I totally get that.
Well, look what happened with Sailor Moon, and also look what happened with Ghost Stories.
Oh yeah, well, Ghost Stories for sure. I don't know what happened to it. Was Sailor Moon the same way where they just winged it?
Not really. They watered it down, and back in the day, they were like, "Oh, you can't say this in front of, American audiences, yada yada yada."
Yeah, well, that's terrible. All right, so we got 4 other things to talk about. Let's see here. Do we want
including Dell.
Oh, Dell. Yeah, we'll start with that one.
Yeah. So does anyone have 13,800 British pounds kicking around? And give me a second here. 13,800 British pounds.
That should be about 18,000 USD, I think.
Probably not. 13,800. That is $16,732.56. Anybody have that just kicking around on their couch?
Well, that's even more.
The reason. Oh, good God! Don't get me to convert that. So if I convert that to Canadian, it's just like, just take my liver, because that's $23,000 Canadian.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So what's going on is there is a video card available for sale. It's not an RTX 4090, just in case you're wondering. It is 5 years old, and it is meant for high performance computing that does like tons of math, not video games. It is a Quadro QV100, which basically has 32 gigs of high performance memory on a 4 kilobit wide memory bus. It was launched in 2018, but the Volta lineup kicked off 9 months earlier with a couple Tesla models. Those cards were aimed at, like the Quadro cards were aimed at the professional content creators, and the Tesla models were not to be confused with cars, but the Tesla model of video card was aimed at the high performance computing market. I had them backwards. But anyways, the video card has been put up for sale if anybody wants it.
Nope.
I think the most surprising thing about that is that the MSRP for that one is like 9,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for some reason Dell's selling a used one for 16 or what was it, 13,000? Which is
it makes no sense. But I mean, it's Dell. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to their website looking for product parts or replacement parts. For anything that's over the counter, they're as bad as Apple, where they add about $200 to $300 on top of the actual cost. So, for example, when I was working on another company a few years ago, if we needed to do an upgrade on one of our Dell systems because we bought them in volume, we could go through Dell and buy a 4 or 8 gig memory stick, but instead of being roughly around like, I think the price right now is about $10 a gig, roughly for memory. They were asking about $200 to $300 for an 8 gig memory stick, and you could buy them for like $80 or less at the time. So they've always had steep markups. So to see them selling this video card that is 5 years old for that much money kind of makes sense for them.
It's not
It's
even
dumb, don't get me wrong, but it just kind of falls in line with how they do things.
it's not even a gaming video card. So like all of your gaming drivers, it doesn't work on it. It's basically
Well,
like a souped up 1040.
Ish. It had an output or a performance difference of about 13% better performance than its competition at the time, which was the GTX 1080 Ti. So if you took that video card and wanted to do gaming with it at 4K resolution, you would get 13% increased performance on the GV100.
Mm. Is that worth
And I mean, if
13,000
you're-
pounds?
Yeah. Actually, I don't even remember what they released for, but they were an arm and a leg, but they weren't arm, leg, and kidneys. Plural. Because, I mean, you don't need kidneys. You can trade those for a video card any day of the week.
Mm. Yeah. Totally could.
Yeah, so that is certainly a thing to look at and just be like, excuse me?
You're right on the Dell markup stuff. I can't believe. Like, I know that when I was searching for just recently, within the last like 4 years, just looking for a new laptop, the one I'm currently using is actually a Lenovo Legion series. It's been amazing. I think I spent like $1,800 on it, and that was for Black Friday. Normally retails for like 26. But for the same Alienware laptop, it was like $3,000 to $4,000, and I'm like, no. So just to give you an idea of where the markup is on that, but on the work of video cards, apparently there is a spa in France. Was it France, Amy?
Oh, that place? No, it's in New York City.
That's in New York City. I could have sworn it was like in Paris or something. All right. So there's a spa in New York City that is using Bitcoin mining rigs, specific for Bitcoin mining, to transfer the heat it generates into warming their spa pools. They're claiming that it is a net zero exchange to a water heater. Yeah, I don't know. It's certainly it's just.
Sorry, I'm just going to call that out right away. That's bullshit.
I mean, even Linus Tech Tips weighed in on that particular article too.
Like, it's so dumb. Once you start using power at that scale to heat water, you're burning money, you're burning power, and it's just a giant ass waste.
It is. I mean, it sounds like it's producing as much heat as a data center, right? I mean, it's quite a bit, and that's just running through all those tensors on those video cards that are slid into those dedicated mining rigs. And I think what they were saying was they actually have it in some sort of thermal conductive liquid or I forgot what it is, but they're using that to disperse the heat into the liquid, and they're using some method to capture it, which then gets run into the pools with actual spa water. So I think it's interesting how that can be done, but I'm pretty sure the electric bill is not going to be friendly. I know that heating water and air conditioning in most households are going to be your energy consumers. But
Yeah.
I can't imagine replacing like an entire solution for heating water with Bitcoin mining rigs, and it would only be as useful as and as cost efficient as you need to heat water, and not everybody needs hot water all the time.
Yeah, I've never understood that. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
It'll never make sense. It's like
Wow.
justifying NFTs to the artist community, and everybody's like, no, it's a scam. And like, no, really, it's great. Here, we have a bunch of people buying it. I don't care if their brains are broken. I'm not buying NFTs. Like,
So I just spent a moment or a few looking up just a replacement or a upgraded hard drive for, a laptop from Dell. For a Latitude 5420. Sorry, this is circling back a little bit because it irks me this much.
oh yeah, go for it.
They have an NVMe PCI Express M.2 drive, 512 gigs. It's a 2280 size NVMe for $240. That same physical dimensions, 512 gigs NVMe PCI Express, $45 retail.
Really?
240 from Dell, 45 retail. Like, God damn it. Fuck you, Dell.
Now, if they provided like warranty service that is comparable to like Vornado or anything that they sell, you know about Vornado's warranties, right? You
Never
know,
heard of it.
Okay, Vornado is a fan company,
Okay.
and they have a lifetime warranty on their ridiculously expensive fans. And it is literally lifetime. I actually took advantage of it, and one of my fans broke. I don't know how it broke. It's just it's plugged in. You flip the switch to turn it on. It doesn't blow the air. I called them up and like, yep, nope, sounds like it's broken. Here, give me the serial number, and boom, had one at my front door. No ifs, ands, or buts, no questions, and they sent me like $400 in fans, just because the ones I had broke, which is kind of nice. Now, if that was the case on some of the third-party stuff they sell, like that hard drive you're talking about, like, oh, it's $250, but if it were to crash, break, set fire, whatever, you could call up Dell and be like, yo, hey, this hard drive is garbage. And they're like, yeah, sure, no, just hit it with a hammer and put it in a box, send it back to us, and we'll send you a replacement. Like that, I would pay $250 for that.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't, because I would buy that warranty. So decades ago, I used to do warranty service for Dell through a contractor. And they did have a warranty at the time that covered everything. So if your laptop mysteriously flew into a pool during a drunken party, the whole laptop would be replaced, like free of charge, because you had a whole comprehensive warranty. You could drive over the laptop with a car, and they'd be like, yeah, no problem, here's new parts, or here's new laptop. They, as far as I know, they don't offer that kind of a warranty on the individual parts, other than manufacturer defect warranties. Now the worst part is, for a 1 terabyte PCIe 3x4 1 terabyte drive, $90 retail, 115 max retail. Dell, $310. No, don't buy from Dell. If if you can do it yourself, and don't buy from fucking Dell. Like, god damn it. Anyway, sorry,
buying parts.
I'm done my ADD
versus,
rant on that.
Versus at like O'Reilly's or or Napa or whatever car parts place that you want for your car that carries car parts. But yeah, no. So yeah, stop it, Dell. Bitcoin mining is now heating pools. I wish it was a thing that was viable all the time. I guess if you were running heat all the time through those pools and you wanted to Bitcoin mine at the same time, I guess it's kind of worth it. But where's the offset for it? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
No idea.
Oh wait, what's this? Somebody actually tore this apart. Yeah, so there's ways to heat the body of water like a pool that are much more efficient than resistive heating, which would be like you're kind of just using heat sinks to heat the water. If you use an actual heater, like a heat pump, rather than mining, you would, save about 50% of your electricity. Like, Bitcoin mining is just power hungry, and it generates a lot of heat. It's hard to get rid of that heat. Sure, throwing it into a spa sounds great, but you're still burning a lot of wasted power. Like, it's just a waste of time. But anyways, you know what else is not a waste of time, though?
What's that?
Killing 666 cows in Diablo 4.
Every Diablo edition. I want, the one thing I didn't hear about at a secret cow level 4 was probably Immortal, but I think that had so much controversy around it. If there was discussion of a secret cow level in Diablo Immortal, it didn't matter. But it seems like because there's been a secret cow level in all editions of Diablo, right? Like
Yeah,
for
1, 2, and 3, and the original expansion. Well, no, the expansion for 1 didn't. It was already in there. Yes, 1, 2, and 3 all do have a secret cow level. There are various ways to access them. And there was a quest that was in the game files a while ago that Blizzard recently took out that kind of alluded to like an inn. And people thought that might be related to the secret cow level. And they've, emphatically gone public and said, there is no cow level, there is no cow level.
they did
But
that
I'm
for
sorry,
3
there is a
too.
Discord server called Not Finding a Cow Level. They discovered that there seems to be a in-game timer of 666,666 seconds, which is 7.7 days, that can be triggered. They don't know what it's for. They originally thought it may have been related to doing something, and then your character would be knocked out for just almost 8 days. Turns out that's not correct. But
Oh,
they got a musty tome, which was one of the pieces in Diablo 3 to get to the secret cow level. And that person who found that tome had killed about 666 cows. They claimed it was hard to count, and yeah, I can guess. I can see why that would be difficult. The cow died with a red curse effect, and the tome dropped from it, is what they went on to say. So it's interesting. I'll be very interested to see if there's a way of getting the cow. I can see Blizzard trying to hide the cow levels best they can for as long as they can.
well, they can't hide much from the data miners. There was actually an update to that article. Apparently,
Yes.
they've decided that 666,000 second timer wasn't relevant at that particular point, so they're still looking.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm still very I'm still very certain there is one. I mean, why wouldn't you have one in? You've had one in the other 3. Why would you break tradition at this point?
Because they can. Have you messed around with the new season or Diablo 4 yet?
No.
No, I'm actually currently reinstalling the files so I can start pulling them apart because I have decompilers.
Ah, okay. Oh, you're looking for the secret cow level too, huh?
Well, at least in the data files, because I also have hex editors as well.
Ah, okay.
And
Well,
sometimes that stuff is just in plain text. And you just find it when you do an ASCII search.
oh yeah,
Yep,
definitely.
you'd actually be surprised what ends up inside of executables or inside of device drivers that is all just plain text and completely human readable. It's really funny.
Oh yeah, just open it up. Open up anything in Notepad. Don't change
Yeah.
anything, but you can open it up and read it. Just don't save it. And
Notepad++ is really good for that.
yeah, I remember just doing it in Notepad and
Yep.
finding places. In fact, there's some places where the text is you can actually change it in some of the. This is some of the older applications. You could actually change it to point. Like there was some application I was using that was always connecting to one specific thing, and that site had been dead. But and so I had to go in there and change it. Like you can do it, you can't recompile it, but you can certainly save the plain text in there. But it doesn't exactly. It worked until it didn't. But compiled bytecode is interesting in that way, especially if because I think Notepad still detects what format everything is in. It'll tell you at the lower right hand corner. So, but it's a thing that you can do. But it's very unstable depending on what it is, especially if they're like checking sizes of files and or checksums and whatnot. Because if it changes just a little bit, it screws it up.
Yeah, like as long as you're not making changes and saving those changes, you're usually pretty good to go. ETC. I know there's something for what is it? Saints Row 3 hosts. You have to change. Oh, I don't have it on this host file. So it got changed. There is a website it used for checking to see what DLC you had, and to help with matchmaking and stuff and playing with friends. Once that went down, the game would start looking for that and always time out and just would fail. But if you put the IP address or the DNS name it was looking for and redirected it to the local host on your machine via your host file, you were good to go. The game would just be like, oh, guess I can't see the server. We're good to go.
Indeed.
Yeah, it was weird. It was funny. But
Adventures in
apparently
Time.
Windows erased that from my host file. So that's kind of sad. Boo.
Ooh. Well, so I haven't messed around with Diablo 4's new season yet. It's a thing I want to do, but it's such a time sink. I have a hard time like doing it. If that makes any sense. Like, I think that because, like, if you take Diablo 3 and how long it would take you to get to like level 60, and it was like maybe a day, right? If you accelerated it. And my buddies and I found a way to accelerate it, and it was pretty much dragging everyone through the Jar of Souls, finding it, or either the event, and he would just at like Torment, whatever that you could totally go to. I think Torment 6 at the time is what we were running. So this level 1 character would just die if you barely breathed, and I was like, like no joke. But so you could do that in a day. If you really focused on it and you weren't running with other folks. And after that, it's really just about the gear, and you can run rifts over and over and over and over again until you get what you wanted, and kind of accelerate yourself through. And that's great. There's also the barrier of beating the game. Once you've done that, then the game changes. But Diablo 4 seems to be just such a fucking slog, right?
Yeah, it was so grindy. I was not really happy with it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a grindy game. It's a loot grinder, right? Like it's like playing the slots, except the machines are monsters and the rewards aren't coins. It's loot, and there's just a lot of it, and there's a lot of trash, and sometimes it just doesn't seem worth it. What were your thoughts on that whole thing, Grit?
It, I guess I'm not really becoming I'm falling out with the whole grindy game stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, it takes, I don't know. I think over the last few years, games have become more and more grindy, and I find myself less and less interested in playing games that are turbo grindy like that.
Turbo grind.
Well, yeah.
Well,
Let's be honest. That's what it is. What it is, right?
Right. That's exactly what it is. Don't get me wrong. Like China, Korea, Japan, like that's one of the main staples that's there. Like being able to sit there and focus and grind is actually a prestigious thing on some of those games. I was reading up on something we were talking about a few months ago, and like I forgot what it is we were talking about, but it had to deal with that. But I know that the Sony executive, or former executive CEO, wasn't it, was talking about how games should start really branching out. And I think we talked about this a little bit, not necessarily about this article, but I was kind of pontificating about how games are over budgeted and they underdeliver a lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's effectively what the Sony boss was saying in this particular interview or article or podcast, where, you know, like if you keep working the same 4 or 5 genres over and over again, it's going to lose its luster. I mean, think about any franchise that has multiple iterations: Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty. I joke about that one as Gun of Duty or Gun of Bullets.
Yeah. Should play Goat of Duty. That's really fun.
Goat of Duty. The Goat Simulator game series is actually it's very tongue in cheek. And wasn't that done by Coffee Stain Studios?
Think so. I don't know. Let me go look it up.
I think it's the same company that did Satisfactory.
Goat Simulator store page. Wonder if it is for sale still. Yeah, Coffee Stain Studios did Goat Simulator. Goat of Duty was published by 34 Big Things, and it was the developer, and Riser Games was the publisher. Yeah, it's certainly a thing. It is incredibly dumb, incredibly buggy. It's basically just Goat Simulator reskinned with guns in a deathmatch arena.
I'm still waiting on the release of Squirrel with a Gun.
What?
Yeah,
That's a thing.
yeah, no, it was. We talked about it. It was it was all over the news like last year about this time where the developer was making Squirrel the gun. And it was literally like you've seen the trailers and whatnot, right? You look it up on
Oh,
Steam.
right.
Yeah.
Wait, I just looked up on Steam. I looked up Squirrel. And these are the results. Squirrel Stapler. Acorn. Attack of the Squirrels. Squirrel with a gun. Squirrel Divorce. What the fuck? It's a top-down game where you control a squirrel and dodge the moles that crawl out of their holes and also run away from annoying ex-wives and collect scattered luggage around the location. I'm reading their blurb here. Each time one of the wives steals your truck, and you have to catch up with a heavy truck. This is such a run-on sentence. I wish they knew how to grammar. Because, ow.
Yeah, it could be a foreign studio. I mean, can't expect everybody to be perfect, and people speak almost broken English on the internet anyway. Even I do.
know, the angry squirrel. Oh no. Why are there so many fucking squirrel games?
I don't know,
God
but I'm
damn
still
it.
waiting on Squirrel with a Gun. It's the funniest out of all of them. Like, I'm hoping it'll be the 3D Untitled Goose Game.
Quite nutty.
Yes, very nutty. Pace, there you go, chat. If you want to go check out the squirrel with the gun, there it is. That is just... It's legit a squirrel running around with a gun.
Yep.
That is just... What the fuck?
But the idea that he's trying to get across, that this ex-Sony CEO is trying to get across is that, like, you know, you've got these huge big budget games. It's almost untenable to have that kind of budget and not necessarily produce a good game. You could totally produce a good game. I think Diablo 4 is a good example of that, with as much money as they've dumped into it. But I'm starting, to be quite honest with you, I'm starting to look at the smaller games and the less graphically pretty games. I'm tired of this push to to push the technology further. At this particular point, how much further do we have to push the technology, right, to play your video games? I know that for the immersive gamers, they need more power because of VR, right? Like that's the whole thing, because there's all the tracking and all the number crunching that goes along with that. I could totally understand that, but I don't even like VR headsets. It is such a gimmicky technology. I know some people are very fond of it. I'm not. I also wear glasses, so VR is also super uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. So I do like the way Meta's Quest did it, which was, it was all inclusive. You didn't look like you were plugged into the Matrix, and you have to dedicate a whole ass room to it. In fact, have you seen some of the stuff on the Quest 3?
No, it's run by Facebook, and I don't touch their shit.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I don't have Instagram, I don't have Threads, I don't use WhatsApp, and I don't use Facebook.
Well, the Quest 3, and it's certainly got my attention, and I would certainly try it, because the Quest is the only headset that came with like a glasses displacer that made it comfortable for me to want to wear their stupid headset. And it was a lot of fun. I actually have one of the original Quests sitting in the house that my kids have commandeered. But it actually scans your environment now and will convert your environment into AR completely. So you can certainly turn any room that you're in, and it even maps out where items are, like coffee tables and things like that, so you can totally avoid them and whatnot with pretty damn good accuracy, so it's not offset or distinted, so you're not disoriented. It's some good stuff. It really is. I would certainly try it, but again, it's also gimmicky. I don't want to spend $600 on a headset I'm going to wear twice.
No, that makes sense. It's just, it's so expensive, and I don't see how it's really worth it at this time. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'll ever get into VR, just because I really don't want to have to be paying a shitload of money for, a really good video card just to be able to use it.
Oh yeah, especially for stuff powered by your PC. But if they keep moving the portable technology like the Quest is doing right now, it might be worth it, because at that point you're not tethered to your machine.
True.
But yeah, so games are prohibitively expensive, and if they keep churning out the same 5 genre games year after year, they're going to lose the audience and the market's going to crash. Is effectively what he said. So, but yeah.
I mean, he's not really wrong in that assessment. It is a fairly decent assessment because
Mhm.
I think we are stagnating as far as technology goes and as far as what style of games and what games we can develop.
Mhm.
I'm hoping we'll have like a major breakthrough, but I don't think so. I don't think we'll have anything like that anytime
It's
soon.
gonna have to be an indie that thinks outside the box. Another Phil Fish, another
Binding of Isaac,
Edmund McMillan. It would have to be like
Darkest RNG.
Terraria is another one that was done by 2 folks in the initial. So
Yep.
it's gonna take, or even Mojang, Notch, whenever he was in charge and his team.
hmm
And it was his passion project, and now it became like this worldwide, like, it's- like, if you don't have Minecraft, who are you? Like that's where we're at now with Minecraft. So, well, yeah, no, like it's gonna take the independent development team that can afford to explore into that, perhaps making their own assets, even if it's just a single person. Like I think it was Dust Tales of Elysium was another one. I think Total Biscuit did a thing on that because it was just one developer and he was a lawyer and he stopped being a lawyer to work on a game and he made a game. And it ended up being pretty good. Even Total Biscuit was like, bruh, dude, this is really good. Like, it's got some problems, but I don't care. It's like one dude that did this and he spent like 6 years of his own time and did it. So good on you.
Not
Like,
bad.
yeah. So it's going to take the indie community to really push that forward because if you ask your EA controlled studios or any studio controlled by a publisher like Ubisoft, EA, and things like that, they don't give a shit. They're not out there for innovation. They just want to stamp out more and more games of the same flavor.
Why do you think there's like 10,000 Call of Duty games? I mean, it's easy money.
Mhm.
People are enough of a sucker to keep buying the exact same game over and over. So why innovate when you just know it's a cash cow and people will just give you money for the sake of the name of the game?
Yeah.
There's no incentive to improve. There's no incentive to do anything better because why would you?
Would you? And you're already throwing money at it, knowing you're going to get at least a baseline return on it. So why not? Well, that's all right. We're going to go ahead and push this to a close, but I need to discuss with you when would be a good time to push this to moving forward, considering we're doing the busy season.
Yeah.
Do
I
you?
guess I don't mind doing it like a couple hours earlier because it will give me time, at least 3. Right now, I'm looking at 3 hours sleep right now. So
Yeah, that's the other reason why I'm trying to cut this off. So, like, if we move this from 10:30 to say 8:30,
Oh yeah, easy.
yeah, we'll get with Cajun when he gets back and see what he thinks. But starting next week, I'll go ahead and push this to like, wait, hold on. I'm thinking 7:30 my time. That's 8:30 your time. Is that going to be enough?
that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Quick round table. I'm playing video games with Cajun this week, doing stuff probably in Pokemon. We didn't finish the bingo card. Amy, Crit, what's going on for you this week?
Work.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Work and Baldur's Gate and probably trying to break the game because I don't play games the way they're meant to be played. I usually play them as how can I break the mechanics by doing what I'm not supposed to do?
Oh yeah, no, those are always fun. I introduced my youngest kid to the Spiffing Brit because the title of his latest video was how to beat Balloons TD6 without using monkeys.
Yes, I did watch that. That was good times.
Yeah, it was. He was impressed. He was like, "Wow, I never thought about doing that." So, but yeah.
All right.
Oh, but that
Well, have a good night, chat. We're gonna leave and go run away.
All right.
It's been a shorter episode, but
it's a shorter
Sorry.
episode. I'm probably gonna take an hour break and then I'll probably be back on and play some Endless Dungeon. So, I'll catch you guys throughout the week on Discord.
alrighty.
Later, bros.
See y'all. Did I do that right? Was that enough?